Do y'all remember Uncle Bunky?
What is that?
It was that obituary that I read.
Oh, yeah, like the hard partying, fun-loving uncle. He surely died of.
We have a contender in New York State.
Uncle Bunky.
This is...
he sounds like he's one of the members of the Chuck E. Cheese band. He's the pig who plays the bongos or whatever.
This is from the Fitchburg, Massachusetts Sentinel and Enterprise. Gary Drake Hughes, 66, a.k.a. Guido, died Friday, June 26, 2020 at the Joe Rasso Hospice Residence in New City, New York. First of all, that is the hardest to Google city in the world, because it's not New York City, it's New City, New York. It's like naming your band ! Yeah,
a lot of stuff like that in New York, I guess, where it's just like I don't know, I'm in fucking New York, or I'm in Queens, New York, but I'm still in New York. It's confusing.
Yeah, they fucked it up with New York City, New York.
Yeah.
Right? And then upstate New York.
Should have kept it New Amsterdam, you know what I'm saying? Guido was born in Opelika, Alabama, which is where I was born.
Oh.
The only child of Lieutenant Colonel Theodore Hughes and Geraldine H. Drake Hughes of New York. After a distinguished military career, Colonel Hughes moved his family to Lynchburg. Yeah, there's a...
Lynchburg?
I think that's a typo. It's
the Lunchtown.
I'm trying to go there. I was trying to go there right before the podcast.
It's like when someone's like, yeah, I live in New York. Like you live in Lunchtown, New York. It's like on the cusp.
Yeah, baby, it's right next to Swingtown.
Yeah, it's people complain about it being hard to make it in New York, but I don't know. I have a pretty good time in Lynchburg.
I mean, they don't proofread the obituaries. It's Luncn Berg, so that must be. So he moved his family to Massachusetts, where Gary was raised. Guido graduated from Lunenburg. There it is. There's the correct one. Boo. Should have been Lunchburg.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go to Lunchburg.
Guido graduated.
They have a rivalry with Flavortown.
Guido graduated from Lunenburg High in 1972 and received an associate's degree from Berklee School of Music in Boston in 1978. He was a talented piano player and played gigs wherever he went. In 1980, while incarcerated at MCI Concord, he graduated from Atlantic Union College in Lancaster, Massachusetts, with an associate's degree in aviation science and became a licensed pilot. His license was eventually revoked for flying under too many bridges.
Well, he got this license in prison.
I know, it's awesome.
Why do they let people in prison get pilot's license?
Hey, man, you can run for president from prison. I don't see why you can't learn to fly under a bridge, baby.
This just sounds like some dude who
Lunchburg gets down.
Yeah, this just sounds like some dude that you work with at a restaurant or something. It's like, he flew a plane under a bridge.
Well, funny you mention that.
He's really into Diddy Kong racing.
Here's some of his other careers. During his expansive life, Guido sold cars, raced cars. He also raced hydroplanes. He drove limos in New York City, and he was also a telemarketer.
Damn.
A gregarious person, he got to meet a lot of famous and infamous people, both in and out of prison, which provided him with many entertaining anecdotes. He truly loved animals and wildlife, educating himself about many species. At various times, he adopted both a bear cub and a wolf named Taz.
Did you just find this off just randomobits.com?
He's subscribed to a news group that's like funny obituaries.
His name is Guido.
Guido also had many ferrets. He was actually the last person prosecuted in Massachusetts for, quote, illegal possession of a ferret before that law was repealed.
Yeah, the Along Came Polly law.
Shit.
It was a really divisive law in Lynchburg, New York.
Charges were eventually dismissed because Fish and Game, quote, killed and froze the evidence to preserve it for the trial. So they killed his ferret and froze it. It's ridiculous.
Holy shit, they killed it?
Yeah.
Why? Why they gotta kill it?
He was illegally in possession of a ferret.
You just go in and just stamp its head in with a boot and they're like,
put it
now put it in a bag.
Put it in the evidence locker with the heroin.
Well, by law, if we possess it, it's also illegal.
Right.
What are we going to do about that, boys?
We can't have this thing running around the station willy-nilly. Kill the thing.
No, by the time he's ending that sentence, some just deranged cop is just stomping it out for fun.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what?
Yeah,
I did good?
I do just want to see the pan down the evidence locker of like gun, knife, narcotics, ferret.
Yeah, dead ferret. It's just pile of dead ferret.
But it's got to have its like mouth open. It's got to be like taxidermy. Like
yeah, like kind of terrified, kind of ready to pounce.
That's what the weapons like evidence looks like in a prison.
Oh yeah,
it's all crazy. It's just crazy stuff.
Shit that people made.
It's like this fucking Bible's been turned into a fucking black slapjack or whatever, you know?
Oh, slapjack.
Blackjack.
Oh, is that
Where you fill the sock with soap and then you beat the guy with it.
Oh, the Gomer Pyle special.
Yeah, you can get
Yeah.
like lead ones.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Leather ones. They shanghaied people.
A lifetime of alcohol and drug addiction destroyed all of his relationships and his health and whatever human potential he possessed.
Guido.
He spent half his adult life incarcerated and the rest of the time hustling and conning people to support his habits. So somebody who knows him wrote this obituary. He's survived by a former wife, Susie Kilwan of Jakarta, Indonesia, a daughter and 2 granddaughters and a son. After cremation, he will be buried with his parents at St. Peter's Cemetery in Haverstraw, New York. No services are planned. So,
Jesus, you made me. They may as well write in like in parentheses, spits on grave. What bitter fucking relative wrote that? That's insane. May he rot. Guido, you son of a bitch.
you squandered all your potential for love, Guido. Oh, Guido.
Guido! Like, you like to think at one point he was like driving Conan O'Brien around in a limo and be like, I flew a plane under that fucking bridge.
Yeah, he did. Oh,
Did a little
man.
bump of cocaine, made everyone nervous in the limo.
Man, I love
Drive
it.
limos now because I can't drive planes anymore.
The goal is to get an obituary like that where it's like, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, may you rot in hell, Guido.
It sounds like somebody he knew in prison wrote that.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And they like saved up enough stamps to be able to buy an obituary.
Well, yeah, it had to be because it says that he's the only child of the parents, and he's 66, so it's not his folks, but he doesn't have brothers and sisters. He's got kids, but apparently they live in Indonesia and don't want to talk to him. So
They could have been close.
maybe, yeah.
Tell you. Stories to tell, that guy's got.
Anyway, I fucking love it. And you know what else I love? Not having to edit phone calls. What's up, y'all? How's it going?
Hey! Back in the flesh.
Yeah, grand homecoming to
Back in the
Disgraceland. Scott Carter and Sam both here.
We're...
When you said I don't have to edit phone calls, there was a long time where I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? And it was in my own head trying to put it together.
like the gerbils on the trail going.
Yeah.
Like,
The ferret.
The ferret, yeah.
The dead ferret is just sort of spinning around the wheel.
It's like, does Rivers doctor phone calls for
Technically,
the
yes.
police?
Does he doctor my phone calls?
Technically, yes, but it is against the police. Yeah.
He probably has enough recorded evidence of us to deep fake us.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, I sign off all likeness rights. You can deep fake me.
I don't have enough time to deep fake.
What have you been doing lately? Why are you so busy?
Podcast, dude.
Oh,
It's podcast season.
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
It's good to see you guys, I've been had to take a break from going to all those bars.
Jesus. Well,
Just playing.
good to know that we've been giving Texas and Florida and all these places a hard time,
Yeah.
and now guess who's number one, baby?
That's right, dude.
My friend caught COVID. Did I tell you?
Oh no, I'm
fuck.
sorry.
Not at a surprise party, I hope.
No, it was at his job at a bar.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, at least they're protesting in front of the state capitol today with signs that say "All bars matter."
Really?
Have you seen that shit?
Oh God.
Yeah, that's literally going on.
Fucking learn how
now
to
in
make
Austin.
cheese sticks at home and buy beer. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I want the possibility of getting laid to be in the air. It's like people can't touch.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
Like, what are you fucking? What
It's
absurd
'cause
notion are you entertaining?
Bar they've been doing things where restaurants with bars can sell to-go drinks, which I think they're also doing here.
Yeah.
But a bar's business relies on somebody who's like, I'm going to have a drink. And then at the end of the first one, they go, I'm going to have a second
I'm gonna
drink.
have 30.
And then,
I wanna
4
have 30
hours
drinks.
later, they're...
I want to pretend like the other drug addicts around me are my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you miss that whole thing and that whole like my bartender, he's like my therapist. It's like you need a real therapist because the therapist wouldn't be like drink 30 beers in a single sitting.
I knew this guy that was a 40-something-year-old Papa John's delivery driver.
Yeah.
And he would come to the bar I worked at, and then he would just get hammered, after
Like
work.
you do, yeah.
After you do your Papa John shift. And he'd like say racist stuff. Yeah, as you do, as
Like
a
you do,
40-year-old pizza delivery driver.
Yep.
Then he'd like start talking about like, man, my fucking daughter doesn't talk to me anymore. Cause she says I'm racist.
It's like, as being on the other side of that, as I have been, you know how dehumanizing it is to be like, you're not racist, here's more alcohol. Like, it's
Tip
for,
me more.
yeah, for $2.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man, your daughter sounds like a real bitch. Shots are $1 off right now.
Man, Indonesia's a long way away. That's crazy that you got a wife over there.
What was it?
Guido.
Was it Pedo? Oh, Guido, right. Yeah.
Guido. No, that's his English cousin.
Pedo?
Yeah.
Well, it's like you want to hate him because he's racist, and then you hear that, and you're just like, I kind of feel bad for him.
Yeah, because they're he's a loser.
Because he's a huge loser.
Right.
He also has an issue in his life that he could kind of fix, but isn't even capable of that.
Yeah.
It's like he doesn't actually have to not be racist. He could just pretend like he isn't racist, and he can't even do that. That's how you know he's really fucking racist.
Well, goddamn, this whole rundown today is just people showing ass for exactly that reason. And it was a thing like I talked about while y'all were gone. I did some poetry analysis on the show, so we've hit that
too bad
fucking
I
level.
missed that.
Yeah, it was a shame. One of the things I talked about in that was this poem "In the Desert" by Stephen Crane, where he talks about seeing a fucking basically a man that's been twisted and is eating his own heart, and he asks him, and he goes, "What does it taste like?" And the beast says, "It's bitter, but I like it because it's bitter and because it's my heart." And that is exactly what the fuck you're talking about. This person cannot affect change in any other way except to be a shithead. That's why he's not talking to his daughter. He likes it because it's bitter, because it's the one thing that he can do. You know what I mean?
Well, I think he really would want to talk to his daughter, but he just wants her to accept him.
Yeah,
as the racist father.
As a shithead. Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
he's an emotional invalid because he hasn't given like an inch to anybody. He like wants his daughter to just accept him as he is. I love we're taking a deep dive on this random person, but
it's the whole it's the whole thing with the Karens freaking out with the goddamn masks at the grocery store. It's people showing ass.
They're like, why can't you come and meet me on my level? It's like, because you're not meeting anybody else on their level. You
have nothing else.
You're a self-involved cunt face.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and like I said in the thing, anger is an easier emotion than admitting that you're sad.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what you do.
What it is. It's just fucking. It's so much. It's someone taking the easy path out.
Like the time a woman left a note on my door asking me to open a window when I smoke weed because I lived in an apartment where all the fucking vents are connected. And my reaction was just like, man, fuck that stupid bitch. But in reality, I was just like, I guess we're not going to be friends and neighbors.
I got
fuck her.
Oh, I got an example like that. When me and my brother were watching wrestling when we were kids, this was back in like WCW days. So this was like when DDP was a big thing.
Did you feel the bang?
We were doing the thing where you put your hand together, you go bang, you jump up, and shit. And then our neighbor came upstairs and went, "Could you please keep it down? Up here, we have a newborn daughter, and she's sick, and we want her to go to. We just need her to get to sleep." And then me and my brother saw that we were in trouble, and we immediately started crying as this person was earnestly just asking, like, "Please keep it down, like, our daughter's sick daughter's trying to go to sleep." And then I remember going into my room and grabbing my pillow and yelling into it, "Fuck that guy!" And like that crying and saying something. I hope his whole family dies because I was being selfish and stupid, and I was called out on being. Instead of having, like I said, like if you can just accept your mistakes and move on, as opposed to being like, "I've been done a great injustice."
How dare you put a fucking note on my door?
Yeah, for something completely reasonable. What the fuck? Yeah.
After doing something that I don't usually do at all.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like the people who are defending it this vehemently are the same people who know they shouldn't be there at 3 p.m. but are there anyway. Like, they have that kind of shifty look of like,
If they didn't want me to be here, man, it wouldn't be legal for me to be here.
yeah. I want y'all to know something. These are my friends. These are my amigos. And we, like, no, you're all just drunks. Like,
Yeah.
you're all,
I want to talk to Lisa about, she's been having that problem with her boyfriend. And, she's
like-
just the bartender who sees him come in and is like, fuck.
yeah. It's like, I understand. Like, I enjoy going to bars too, but it's like, how self-involved of a piece of shit do you have to be towards totally plunging our state into the leading COVID case, the leading amount of COVID cases because you want to go to a bar?
Well, after quarantining for 2 straight weeks, legitimately not going anywhere, it's fucking terrible.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
It's fucking terrible to legitimately, I wasn't even going on walks. I wasn't, leaving the house at all.
Shit.
Yeah, that can be a little... It can be
Dude, it was fucking crazy.
psychotic, yeah.
And if people are doing, similar type shit like that already, I could see... Or even, half of that, I could see people just being like, fucking get me anywhere.
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Get me around other people.
I like going places. I don't need to be near people, though.
Yeah,
No,
that's
yes.
the part that's gross.
Yeah, that's
like-
the part where I'm like, I don't know, go to a goddamn, if you've got a car, go drive to a park way the fuck out, in the middle of nowhere.
That's been lovely.
Yeah.
And that should have been total phase 2 stuff where it's just be hey, it's okay to be alone in nature.
Yeah.
If you'd say if you're truly alone somewhere in nature, that's fine.
Nature's
state that,
big. There's a lot of it.
Nature's huge and California's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
just state that publicly.
Yeah.
Don't just leave people to kind of figure it out and feel like they're being naughty if they go to a park. So they feel like they're being naughty doing that, then they feel like they're just, it's the same difference if we're just pack out a bar. Who gives a fuck?
Right.
You need to state the things that are fine to do.
I want to talk about Alabama.
Oh, what do we got?
What's going on in Alabama?
What city is it? The Alabama University, Roll Tide?
Tuscaloosa.
Tuscaloosa. I think it happened there. College students who knew they had COVID, 100% knew, went out partying. And
Yeah.
then a bunch of people caught COVID, recently.
That tracks. I lived in Tuscaloosa for 5 years. Mm-hmm. Had a great time. Extremely toxic place.
My friend who caught COVID didn't get that sick. So he knew he had it because he had to take a test because somebody else at his job tested positive for
So
it.
yeah, then you have to.
And he came back with a positive result, but he said he didn't really feel that sick.
He's asymptomatic, probably. Yeah.
He said he felt some symptoms, but it just wasn't very bad for him. Or I don't know. He
Yeah.
said he felt like there was a heaviness behind his eyes.
Yeah.
The Neanderthal anger of being I don't care if I even have it. I'm not stopping my stupid life. For
They
1
don't
second.
think it's serious. They really don't think it's serious.
Well, it's as your level of comfort increases, the amount of discomfort you feel at just the smallest little thing also increases. The easier your life is, the harder everything fucking seems.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
If you're working for minimum wage, you're working 40 hours a week at fucking Starbucks or some shit. A little inconvenience in your life, having to wear a mask while you make frappuccinos, is not going to fucking hit you the same way it hits some small business psycho like the fucking people in St. Louis with the goddamn guns in the front yard that everybody's memeing on today.
Yeah.
Those people's lives are so easy that a person cutting through their fucking yard seems like an invading barbarian horde to them.
Yeah.
Have you been outside our goddamn apartment? They would be out there every day.
Oh,
the
just-
crazy
well,
shit that
they're
happens out
crying
here.
mascara, both of them, Ken and
Yeah.
Karen,
Yeah.
just streaming crying mascara.
Well, when I think about people seeing this neighborhood for the first time, I think about what Carter said his parents would think. I really do. And because I never thought about it that way. Because I know my parents wouldn't have that same reaction. But if you've grown up in a normal kind of suburban mid-sized city that really doesn't have real poverty the big cities have.
Oh, yeah. Dude, people are terrified of cities.
Yeah.
you know? And it's all these sorts of people that we're talking about because there is some level of discomfort associated with, you're trading a little bit of comfort for having to live in a city. It smells like piss sometimes because they're...
Well, they're scared. They're
Yeah, that too.
They're like, I'm going to get murdered if I live
Yeah,
there.
the thing about Andrew and Bryson or whoever the fuck else at Alabama is that they don't have to see the inside of these hospitals. They don't see that the hospital's packed out with people who have COVID who are suffocating.
Well, and Tuscaloosa is actually like a perfect example of what I'm talking about because
isolated from the rest of the world. They're right outside of Tuscaloosa.
The campus of Alabama, and I say this as a diehard Auburn person, the campus of Alabama, gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. It's yeah, absolutely.
Fucking beautiful. And that area around the campus, also beautiful. It is like this perfect bubble. And then if you just kind of like go over to
20 minutes.
Go over to Northport, go over the river, go any direction.
Which, by the way, City Cafe, shout out, delicious food.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to that haunted mental asylum they got in Northport.
Oh, lovely place.
We love it. But it's that perfect thing of like, you can just live your whole goddamn life in Tuscaloosa in that little tiny bubble.
Oh, sure.
But if you're just willing to venture just a little bit farther out, it's like, okay, this is what life actually fucking looks like.
And the majority of the people who live in Tuscaloosa never do.
No,
they stay within the campus boundaries. I mean, it is the definition of like a white privilege bubble.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
is Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
They patrol that shit the way they patrol the border between Compton and Linwood.
For sure.
Okay, here's the black part of town. Here's the white part of town.
For sure. I mean, like, and that's like it is the most egregious like white privilege ever. Is I mean, the Greek system. I mean, it has been for forever, and it's like that place runs on Greek shit.
I was gonna say the machine. If y'all want to freak yourselves out, Google the machine.
Oh God,
it's the frat system at Tuscaloosa that is churned out,
like openly racist, openly homophobic.
You're talking about the Burt Kreischer bit.
Oh yes, yes, the machine, Burt Kreischer.
God,
who by the way is touring drive-in movie theaters now.
That may be the way it goes.
Like it's kind of my buddy Dave Williamson opens for Burt, and there was like a cool picture. They were in some place in like South Carolina. He has his own bus, so he doesn't travel by plane. Just fucking rolls up. They have a camera on him, so it projects his face on the thing, so the people in the front row of cars can see him, and then everybody in the back can just watch him on the screen.
I can dig that. I'll tell you.
I was like, that's
not
okay.
Dude, I've been going to that drive-in theater in Pomona once a week. It's the most fun that I've had. And I'm like stoked to see like movies I don't really give a shit about, but
I've seen Trolls World Tour 75
so
times.
so close. I still haven't seen Trolls World Tour, but I'm getting there. But yeah, no, I mean it's like I can see the appeal to like drive-in comedy shows.
Let's give a call over to the great. Well, I was gonna make fun of it and say the great COVID holler that is the American Midwest, but we're worse officially. So let's hear from Alexis from the Violet Wanderers podcast.
Hello.
Is this Alexis?
Hi. Yes, it is.
Hey, how are you?
Hey.
Hello.
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
We're doing good. You were telling me we spoke a couple weeks ago before everything changed again on the show, and since then you were telling me that you are organizing a protest in your small Midwestern town. Please tell me about that. That sounds horrifying, truth be told.
Yeah, so basically I live in a town of about 4,500 people, and there were protests and marches going on in areas around us, but there was nothing going on in my specific little burg. But it's like, well, I could go to the Muncie protest or whatever, and that would be great, and tell the people in Muncie that they have support, but what about the people in my little town?
Right.
So I started organizing one. I made an event page. I called the city hall to see what kind of permits I would need, etc. And before word even got out, before I had done more than talk to like the mayor and the chief of police, my event page had its very first response to it, which was from a 63-year-old man who worked at the county jail.
Let me guess. It was very positive.
Well, it was one sentence long, and it was a simple question. It was, are you going to burn the Walmart?
Well, Alexis, were you going to burn the Walmart? Tell us.
Well, we burned down everything, actually. We now live in a Mad Max hellscape.
Right.
Our city council is made up of wolves and those hyenas from The Lion King. And our chief of police has been replaced by Cujo the rabbit dog. So, yes, we burned everything. No,
it's hard to tell a man of that age. Is he making a sarcastic comment, or does he legitimately want to know?
He legit wanted to know, because after I responded to him basically being serious and being like, no, this is above board, He then went on a rant about how we were paid crisis actors. Keep in mind, I've lived in this town since 2001 with a break. We moved to Indianapolis, and then my husband's lived there since 95, so we were playing a real long con on the crisis acting.
Sure, yeah.
Damn, y'all's
it takes a while to break into the industry, I've heard.
I was gonna say, y'all's Soros debit card must be fucking loaded.
I know, right?
30 goddamn years almost.
So I get interviewed by the local paper and the local station, and a huge fight breaks out in the newspaper comment section, of course. And I've noticed that boomers are incapable of grammar on the internet.
Yeah.
So we had one post that is especially dear to my heart, and I'm going to quote it close-ish to verbatim. It's real long, but I'll cut it off some. But it went something like this. All caps, of course. My husband fought for our freedom in war, and now you want to burn our beautiful monument. Why can you not riot and not protest peaceful? God bless. I pray for safety for all.
All caps?
Was your beautiful monument, were they talking about the Walmart?
Well, there's a monument in town on the town courthouse, but it is dedicated to the soldiers of the county that fought for the Union.
Yeah, I was going to say, Indiana was pretty solidly Union, last I checked.
Yeah, the citizens of Indiana have conveniently forgotten that over the intervening century and a half.
Yeah, well, the Klan did go there. It's why Notre Dame is called the Fighting Irish. They were literally fighting the Klan.
The national KKK rally took place in the town I went to high school. Every year when we went out for marching band regionals, we would drive past the courthouse, and there'd be about 2,000-3,000 dudes in white hoods.
Wow! Oh, Jesus Christ!
But the meat of this story is that the local militia found out about us.
Fuck. Okay, that's terrifying.
So I got a message from one of the people who was attending, who was just basically like, "Hey, my cousin got a hold of me, and he's friends with this person, and they wanted to know what the deal was, and they sent me these screenshots." And so I get these screenshots from a Facebook group that's like, I'm not going to name it, but basically you could call it the East Central Indiana Patriots for Trump for Life, who is the fictionalized name.
Right.
That's the fictionalized name I used for it in the sketch I wrote making fun of them.
Okay.
But the post, it's extremely serious in tone, and it's like, "Gentlemen, just so you are aware, we have a contingent of Antifa coming to town to protest. I need volunteers to have eyes on this event and ensure that all things are safety. I will give us an updated sit rep at 0900 hours, blah, 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 blah."
Oh, fuck.
So I joined the group and was like, "Hey, I'm the organizer. If you have any questions, let me know. Like, this is all open and above board." And the guy who runs the militia, messages me and is like, "Well, you just never know. Like, these type of people who are going to cause trouble aren't going to sign up to your little event page." I'm like, "Okay, fine, dude, whatever." So we show up to the rally site. We start at the local park. We're going to march to the courthouse, which is a mile and a half away, have some speeches on the lawn, and we're done. Right. So myself, my husband, and my 9-year-old and 5-year-old roll up to the park an hour early, and 5 minutes after we get there, 6 giant pickup trucks come screeching in, each one with 2 armed men in it.
Whoa.
Fuck.
So we've got 12 dudes with... some of them have shotguns, some of them have AR-15, some of them just have their sidearms. A few of them are wearing, like, off-the-shelf tactical vests and the like. And they're just ducking and darting in between their pickup trucks, like whispering and staring at us, do nefarious things like push our kids on the swings.
Jesus. And these are just citizens. These aren't cops.
No, it was like... the guy that, it wasn't police officers at all. It's like the guy that owns the local gun store and the guy that owns the thrift shop. And are you seeing a theme there? It's all like small business owner-y dudes.
Yeah.
Right,
so
yeah.
There's nothing quite like having a dozen dumpy guys in camo staring holes in you while you teach your 5-year-old the proper way to use a seesaw. Like, that is That's some bucket list material right there, folks.
How many people attended the protest on the good side?
Overall, we had about 70 people total.
That's
about
awesome.
40 of them, about 40 of them marched with us, and then some of the people who were like older or had mobility issues, met us down at the courthouse lawn. We go on the marching route. We've got a police car in front, police car behind. We go past the public school, and we're chanting Black Lives Matter, and there's somebody with a bullhorn, and she's yelling Black Lives Matter, and then all the dipshits that are at the pool are yelling back, "Shut up, bitch," in the same cadence. We did get, the various and sundry small business owners who weren't armed that did just flip us off. We know who not to spend money with now.
Wait, there were just people standing in the doorway just flipping y'all off?
There were people standing in the doorways of their shops when we walked by. There were people in their yards with their phones out filming us, the usual. Some of them saying some shit, some of them just standing there trying to look intimidating, which it's kind of hard for you to look intimidating when you're wearing pajama bottoms and the Tweety Bird shirt where Tweety Bird's got their arms crossed and is
wearing a Who Farted shirt.
I'm sorry, you might think that Kaz is intimidating, but I don't.
Over my dead body.
And so we get to the courthouse lawn, and we had the local congressional candidate for the Democratic side. She did a little speech. I did a little speech. We had a moment of silence. Everything went well. Mm-hmm. Everybody had a good time. It was a bunch of, older hippies, younger, young 20-somethings, and then families and their kids.
Yeah.
So after the event is over, the person who had sent me the initial screenshots from this militia sent me some more. And I think that these people just really, really love watching 24 and playing Call of Duty and really wanted an excuse to use the lingo, because there was this post where it was, I just want to thank everyone for volunteering for this dangerous duty that we had. And we had 360-degree eyes on and had our squads were positioned in such a way as to take advantage of available cover in case the sit rep were to modify. We could fall back and react within seconds. It was this.
Wait, how many people were in wheelchairs with y'all?
Yeah, we had 2 or 3 in wheelchairs and 6 or 7 with walkers.
They were tactical walkers, though, right?
Yeah.
Yes. The 50 cals mounted on them might have been a little over the top. It's true. I don't know. I did see signs that somebody might have had a McDonald's milkshake, so maybe the armed men were warranted. But yeah, so it's this long rambling post where they're basically sucking themselves off with the idea that because 12 middle-aged dads were standing around sweating in army surplus gear, Antifa did not dare show their face in our sacred little town. They scared them off.
Close call, y'all.
Yeah, well, that's all the people mean mugging you from their front lawn. They're going back inside and going, "Honey, I saved us.
I did it.
This house is safe today."
And so having seen that video of the 2 boomers who run out on their lawn with the pistol and the AR, it was kind of like the really white trash version of that. That was pretty white trash all on its own.
Yeah, instead of defending some gigantic historic Missouri estate, it was just I will die for this hardware store.
Yeah, instead of Ken and Karen, it's Kenny and Cinnamon.
You can have my double wide over my cold dead body. That sort of shit.
Yeah.
But on the bright side, one of the good things that did come of it is we met the local Dem party chair, and my husband Ian is now running for coroner.
So
wow.
That's awesome.
Yep. So, but yeah, I wrote a sketch about it. I actually sent the link to Rivers. I'm going to have him listen to it. But I wrote a sketch about it for our podcast.
Oh, cool.
And I now have an entire story arc for the East Central Indiana Patriots for Trump for Life, where Because the next thing I'm planning on doing, and I already told Ian and he already groaned, is now that we've had a Black Lives Matter rally, I'm going to have our tiny little town. We're going to have pride.
Hell yeah.
Great job.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to just continue being a gadfly out here in the middle of fucking nowhere and just kind of rubbing racist boomers' noses in their own filth.
Well, hey, Alexis, if you do end up doing Pride and shit is sort of back to normal next year, I will fucking come out to that. That sounds like a blast.
Awesome. We would be absolutely happy to have you.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get out to Indiana anyway. I got friends over there, so yeah. Count me in for Pride 2021.
Yeah.
Sweet. And if you're able to book some shows out here, you're always welcome to crash at our house.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, if comedy exists in 2021. So, yeah, we'll see.
Right.
If people listening don't know, Alexis is 1/3 of the great podcast, The Violet Wanderers. Tell people where they can find you and your fantastic podcast, Alexis.
Okay, so it's The Violet, as in the color, not the angry action those rednecks wanted to do to us. TheVioletWanderers.com or any podcasting platform. And we do pop culture. We interview interesting people. We've interviewed everyone from a 9/11 survivor to multiple porn actors now.
Hell yeah.
The episode titled 5 Liter Enema has probably one of the gnarliest stories ever put to podcast medium. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/The Violet Wanderers with the usual bonus content and stuff. But come check us out. And Sam and Carter are welcome to come guest on the show. Call in sometime, like anytime.
Oh, thanks. Love to. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for calling in, Alexis, and take care, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Take care.
Peace. God, that is, fuck.
I mean, yeah, I guess it's like, you think about like the protests here and like how intense it got and how like the police were hurting people and shit. And it's like, just because it's in a smaller town doesn't make it less dangerous. You know what I mean? It's like you're facing like more opposition from people who aren't just cops. You know what I mean? Like,
smaller towns where the most fucked up shit goes down.
Yeah.
The police forces are way more corrupt.
Well, this is what we were talking about when Emily was on the show a couple weeks ago about that town in Washington where some like hippie family had converted an old school bus into like a camper, and they pull into this town, and one of the parents, I can't remember if it was the mom or dad, but one of the parents is black, and this was right when all the right-wing places were being like, Antifa has buses, and they are busing in troublemakers from outside the big cities and shit. And then this bus just rolls into town, and they go to the general store like getting camping supplies, and they're like, it's Antifa, and they fucking like trapped them in a campground. Shit is fucking...
So they terrorized him like a terrorist would?
No,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
like a horror movie. Like they...
Yeah.
Like a racist fucking
Hills Have
mob.
Eyes. Yeah.
Hills Have Eyes. That's exactly and it's like Deliverance or some shit. There's even like a scary scene at the general store before they like get it is horrifying out there. It really is.
This is what happens when you let, like, the president is saying that Antifa is a terrorist group, a mask is a political statement. I mean, it's just fundamental fallacies, just lies. Like, and I can't believe people were fucking
all
buying
these disturbed people who show up into Black Lives Matter protest that has like 60 people at it and bring a bunch of guns. They think they live in like Minneapolis. They think they're small town that has like what'd you say, 4,500 people?
Yeah.
They think of their town like Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And they think like, well, they fucking burn that to the ground. What's to stop them from doing it to all the great stuff here?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to fucking stop that from happening because I'm a fucking badass. This is why I've been buying these guns.
They've also have information has trickled down to them through 8 different sources. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, these gun owners really do. They have a fantasy that they're going to use the gun and be a hero.
Right.
And if they can use it under the guise that they're protecting, quote unquote, something, then that'll make them feel like free range to murder, which is really why they bought those guns in the first place.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary out there. I gotta say, planning a Black Lives Matter protest in a small town, That is right up there.
Takes
one of the fucking scariest things I could think of.
Takes some guts, and also, I mean, even going to the ones here, like the people who organize it, I think that's a big part of like why they didn't want people to take photos and stuff, like because you don't want to identify the leaders. Because those people get like harassed and killed.
They get killed. Yeah, like all of the like so many of the people in like leaders in Ferguson.
Yeah,
will just turn up with 2 bullets in their head in a burned out car.
Yeah,
no explanation.
Well, yeah. As soon as the cops realize like they're a person who could like they could dismantle the operation sort of by taking out a person.
Yeah,
they're gonna like follow them around, tap their phone. If they're doing anything illegal, they're gonna be arrested for it.
Yeah.
They didn't fucking file their taxes right.
Yep.
They're going to come fuck with them.
They jaywalked 10 years ago or some shit.
Yeah,
exactly, man.
Broken window shit, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Hats off to Alexis and anyone who participated because it takes guts to do some shit like that.
They did it in Auburn, and even there, similar situation to Tuscaloosa, very lily white, perfect little town around a beautiful university.
Right.
With deep-seated problems that have existed forever. So shout out to anybody who's got the guts to do that because that shit is...
Yeah. In the midst of fucking Tyler and Bryson burping COVID into Michelob Ultras.
Right. Yeah, and that's the other thing. It's like, meanwhile down the road, all these shitheads are just like getting people sick. And, God, yeah. This
like, that's the one thing to go out and be like, yeah, we're going to go fucking party. It's another thing to be like, oh shit, my COVID test came back. It's positive.
Yeah.
You stay at home for one night and you're like, this fucking sucks, dude. I'm tired of doing blow at home.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like that. Like they'll have like some sort of Crimes Against Humanity council after this, and then those people just get killed because they show no regard for human life whatsoever.
Most likely, there's just going to be a fucking Cards of Humanity. Council, and we're all gonna just have to play that game and have fun.
A double-sided dildo?
What? Oh.
What?
I've never played it, but it just sounds bad.
Shitheads at the bar I used to work at loved that game.
It's one of those
like Charlie Sheen's prostitute problem. What?
It might be fun, but the people who are into it make me not like it, like the band Tool.
Yeah, it is the band Tool of card games.
It's probably fine, but I'm never gonna check it out because of like 3 people I've met very closely and been like,
yeah, it's like an ALM birthday party. Fun time to have.
The guy told me he took X and went to the front row of the Tool concert and cried for 90 minutes straight.
That doesn't sound fun.
Yeah.
No, it was the most beautiful thing he's ever witnessed.
Beauty isn't fun, man.
Well, sometimes you cry because you're happy.
This is true.
It's true.
See, I've been crying because they're changing Family Guy.
What? Oh, yeah, that's right. Shit? Yeah, dude. Yeah.
The guy, do you know about this?
He stepped down. The guy who played Cleveland.
The guy who was a white man who played Cleveland is stepping down.
Did you guys ever think about that for one single second?
No.
Maybe I had the epiphany in college when I was really high watching that show, being like, I wonder who is it? Is that Seth MacFarlane voicing Cleveland too?
I mean, that's the funniest part about it is the people who are mad about it. It's like, who can't do that voice?
Everyone can do this voice.
Just get a black guy to do that voice. Anybody can do that fucking voice.
It's like everyone can do this voice and everyone can do Meatwad.
Yeah,
everyone
very
can do
similar.
Everyone can do those voices.
Yeah. Did you see the kid screaming about it in the break room?
What are you talking about?
This is from Twitter user @BlackMass, but it's with a V instead of an A, @BlackMass. About to go on break while working at Dunkin' Donuts. I go to the back and punch out, and my coworker is screaming at his phone, mourning the loss of Cleveland Brown. Tell me if you could tell what area of the country this is from this kid's fucking accent.
Fuck! Cancel fucking culture! You motherfuckers took away Cleveland fucking Brown. Go fuck yourselves! I hope you all fucking blow up. Fuck your rallies. Fuck everything. Fuck you! R.I.P. Cleveland Brown. Family Guy for life.
Oh, yeah. No, that guy is from
Boston, dude.
No,
that's the most Boston person that's ever existed.
I was going to say Alaska, but yeah. No, yeah, definitely Boston. That guy is wicked. That guy's
You took away Cleveland Brown!
Go fuck yourself, guy.
Fuck yourself. It's an outtake from The Departed.
Why is he mad at cancel culture.
because
That's not even what this is.
I mean, they made
It wasn't people being like, you better change this or you're canceled. It's them being
it's a
like,
preemptive move. Like the
it's
guy
them
willingly
being like, well, we don't even want to fucking have to deal with this. And,
Right, yeah.
and it literally doesn't change the show at all or matter. And it'll just look good for us.
right.
Yeah, this is a Lady A the chicks move. Like,
Yeah.
This isn't like no one asked them to; they just did it, and now it's like you can't do nothing.
By the way, the kid who posted that, his like follow-up tweet after it went viral was like saying how he's like against racism and stuff. Mm-hmm. So he's actually good, apparently, and he raps.
Family Guy is the tool of Cards Against Humanity.
Well, similar situation, right? You know?
Well, I think it's like I was saying, people just hate change. He looks at Family Guy as like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Dude,
and
there's
now
like-
you start
there's like-
changing shit around. When he
There's like
finds
19 seasons of Family Guy.
when he finds a thing he doesn't like about the show, he's going to be like, well, they changed fucking Cleveland. Who knows what else they fucking changed?
I like how that's clearly in like a kitchen somewhere.
Yeah, he works at
It's
Dunkin'
Donuts. Yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts. Oh, right.
Yeah. He can't affect any other change,
Yeah.
you know, personally. Like, our society has become so atomized, so individualized that no one person can do fucking anything except scream into their phone. He works at goddamn
he
Dunkin'
can do
Donuts.
stuff. He could be fucking standing outside Fox Studios with an AK-47.
That's true. Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Protecting it from people coming to protest
Yeah.
Jeez.
about the thing and nobody cared about or protested about. That's my favorite part of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't cancel culture that did this.
No,
It wasn't like cops are killing people, lynchings are happening, and Cleveland is voiced by a white person.
Right. I have a jam of the day to close us out.
Okay.
Boy.
So here's the thing. We've been picking on Gen X a little bit too much, I feel, with the jam of the day is doing your Kid Rocks, your Nickelbacks,
Yeah.
you know, things
Is
like
that
that.
Gen X? I thought that was
it's
borderline
millennial. Yeah, it's Gen X millennial, I'd say. So I decided to go straight up boomer. And this is a song by Glenn Frey of the Eagles. It's one of his solo songs.
Nice.
And it's called You Belong to the City.
You belong to the city.
You Belong to the City, featured on Miami Vice.
Uh-huh.
I like saxophone like this.
Oh, yeah, this has a good sax, I'm not going to lie. Vin Goldblum says, from the time when people go respectable, outdressed high with style.
That guy.
Puneet Mishra says, who is watching this after looking into Glenn's health condition, ulcerative colitis disease?
Oh my God. Deep cut.
What?
Glenn Frey died of ulcerative colitis, I guess, and so
He
this
died?
guy, yeah, he did. He's no longer standing.
He did?
He no longer standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. He's standing on a corner of hell. But Aaron Seguin says, if we were born in the late 70s and lived through the 80s, we know what peace is. Now, this virus thing and 5G and all kinds of living disasters with the times changing along with technology, I glad I at least lived through the 80s to remember when it's simple.
I glad. Yes, I glad. It's 5G. Is all of this is
5G is
5G.
gonna
See,
kill
that's the
them.
thing that people didn't. We stopped talking about because that's what it is. All of it's 5G.
Yeah, the virus is caused by 5G.
My modem
yeah.
at home offers 5G.
Oh,
Don't take it. Don't take
Don't
it.
take
Whatever
it.
you do,
I use it all the time.
man. Now we got COVID.
You already might. I was at a hospital 2 weeks ago.
2 months ago, Ken Scott says, homeless at 16 in Akron while my half-bro claim fame for shit he never did. World full of liars and ultimately succeed. So Ken Scott's brother, man, he was
Jesus.
killing it.
How long ago was that?
That was 2 months ago.
2 months ago. I bet he still feels pretty good about it.
Also from 2 months ago, this guy posts a lot. His name is Rex Negron. Says, now you know why we drank and smoked. Many went further. I refused. My life was miserable enough without adding drug addiction to
All
it.
right, Rex.
Get off your fucking high horse,
Now
Rex.
you know why we drank and smoked. Personally, I kept it at the drink.
That was 2 months ago. 1 month ago, Rex says, this song reminds me of how I failed and how it makes it all right. A teacher of mine once
As a
told
father.
A teacher of mine once told us in order to have winners, there must be losers.
Yeah.
No, I'm not proud of it because I know I did my best. Now it's time to let God take over.
Holy shit.
Damn, he just killed himself after listening to this song.
Hell yeah. Ugh. Imagine the sax just coming through your ears at the same time as the DMT. Like,
That's
Were people doing DMT in the 80s?
No. When you die, DMT fills your brain.
Oh, right.
That's
Yeah.
the miracle molecule and all that. John Connor.
Yeah, dude. Have you not been watching Joe Rogan
Yeah,
lately?
I can't say I
Have you not spent the past month mainlining Rogan, bitch?
I can't say that I have.
Have you ever done DMT, Carter?
No, I have. I've known people who do, and they say like, dude, the elves. Apparently, there's DMT elves.
That's
that show
not
up.
true.
No,
No, that's a thing fucking people who've seen Alex Jones talk about DMT say.
so there's no elves.
There's whatever happens in your brain, but saying there's because everybody has a completely different experience.
No,
on it.
everyone has elves, Sam.
Yeah, I
We
would say.
all have elves.
I kind of wanted to do it if there were elves, but if there's no
I like
elves,
elves.
You might see aliens. You might see. You might not meet any creature. You will hallucinate harder than you've ever hallucinated.
I hear you need like a buddy, like you need someone to make sure you won't jump out of off a bridge or
Call
something.
that a spirit
Nah.
guide, right?
spirit guide.
Because it only lasts 15 minutes.
Is that true?
Yeah, and you're,
Yeah, I've heard
you're
that,
so
yeah.
fucked up the first
So it's like salvia?
no salvia wishes.
Salvia plus.
Salvia Plus, yeah. Salvia Max.
I mean, it's good that it doesn't last longer than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because at some point you might be fucking scared as shit.
Oh, yeah.
You might be like, am I on Mars right now? Am I ever going to come back to Earth? Am I dead in my parents' backyard right now? That's what I thought.
Speaking of parents, John Connor 1 month ago says, "This song will forever remind me of when my brother would rob my mother and me to get back to New York."
This song reminds me of the time that a Terminator chased me through Los Angeles.
Oh yeah, his name is John Connor.
Now that I lead the resistance against the machines, this song reminds me of a song that my mother, Sarah Connor, would listen to when she was a waitress in Los Angeles.
Josh Huskins from 1 hour ago says, "I lift a glass and toast you, Glenn Fry. May you rest in peace. The music you left behind belongs to us all, but the era of the 80s belongs to a generation that is aging."
Who are these coked out Robert Goulet people? I raise a glass to you, sir.
He's probably drinking some weird ass brandy or
Yeah.
something.
No, get this. "I find myself a strange creature in the heart of a lonely country boy with the city in his blood and the mountains in his soul. I have grown tired of this world. The hatred that now poisons men is immeasurable." This guy is the judge from Blood Meridian. "I
Hell
wish
yeah.
to return to
gotta
a
read
time when it was not so bad. I can't, however, and I grow fearful for my grandchildren. I wish, though, merely to smile once again." Everyone in this thread is like on the brink.
Well, the people who leave comments on YouTube is one of the craziest. Like, why would you participate in this type of social media? Like, even crazier than Facebook, crazier than fucking TikTok, crazier than Twitter.
Yeah.
It's the craziest one.
Because it's like, yeah, you're literally calling into the void. Like, there's no one's watching this. No one's looking at this
Hardly, and the people who are fucking weird. But also, YouTube is way more popular than Twitter or any of the other. So more people are seeing these crazy comments.
Yeah.
More crazy people have a chance to react to it.
It's same as Facebook. I think Facebook and YouTube is probably the best representation of like humanity, just because those are the two platforms that everybody's on. Even YouTube even more so than Facebook.
What's like the last time you liked a YouTube video even or a comment?
all the time.
You like them?
Yeah.
I don't like them. I use that shit and abuse it and I leave.
In the video for the song, Glenn Fry is smoking. So Loanis Kostulas 1 year ago says they all smoke too much. To which Jake Kaufman replies, "Smoking will never die out as long as bastards are born in dysfunctional, fucked up families and people you care about die. You have to
All right,
worry-
leather jacket, rock and roll hard. Calm down.
You have to worry about corrupt politicians getting elected. We smoke to drown out our issues. The world is a fucked up place, so I can't wait to die so I can be in a better place."
What a tortured poet.
It's the saxophone song.
Yeah, I don't
This
get
fucking
you.
grocery store
What
music?
are the lyrics to this song?
You belong to the city. You belong to the night. It's a song.
No, I want to know the other parts.
I don't
Like
know.
because they might be saying something real depressing that we're just not hearing.
He's talking about being lonely and walking around a city. A. Johnson, 1 week ago, my uncle was involved in the cocaine smuggling ring with John DeLorean. Beautiful hookers from South America, piles of coke on the table. Hard not to participate, but I was working on my career and I knew this type of activity would eventually destroy me. Pray for peace.
This is yielding much better comments than the
You know what I mean?
the
Like
turn of the century ones.
yeah, like all the Kid Rock shit is just like crazy, like destructive, like self-destructive assholes. This is more like
the Kid Rock ones are kind of sad, where it's like I was chewed up and spit out by the military-industrial complex, and I'm crazy.
It's
And
all
this is just like
opium addicts. This is all cocaine addicts.
yeah, this is
yeah.
all like a toast to a toast to the glass of brandy goes out to all my friends who died from cocaine.
also, have you heard about Jesus?
I like how
Also-
these people aren't cokeheads. They're just people who are trying to brag that they were associated with people who partied really hard.
Yeah.
Tone Mac from 2 months ago. The saxophone on this song sounds even better than Careless Whisper and Who Can It Be Now? Kenny G, get on your fucking knees and bow down to saxophone extraordinaire Craig Dice. I guess
I do like.
So intense.
I do
so
like.
Intense.
Who Could It Be Now? The saxophone.
I love
on
that
theirs.
song.
It was a great song, right? Could it be now?
Juice
You nailed that fucking sax riff or whatever you would call that.
Juice Dog from 3 months ago. Today's music is a pile of human shit.
I love that. I love how this guy comes to every YouTube video, no matter what year.
In the 80s, this is Junito, 1957. In the 80s, every type of music was at its peak. Jazz, rock, country, etc. And in the video...
Oh, 80s country, yeah.
I was like,
dude.
jazz was objectively at its shittiest. Country was objectively at its shittiest. I
Yeah.
don't know what they're talking about. Lisa Burgess, there's two more. Lisa Burgess says, because in the video he walks by the World Trade Center, so it just says, the World Trade Center, you will never see again. You will never see the 80s. Life again, awesome times. Now everyone and everything sucks.
Yeah. Boy.
They're kind of right.
They're kind of right.
Those 3 years
That's
I was
when-
alive during the 80s were the best years of my fucking life. I'll tell you
Donald Trump was just a celebrity then. He wasn't the president.
just like a real estate
There's
shithead.
also crack and AIDS and all that shit was going on in the 80s. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
But now we have fucking Oxycontin and COVID.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you know, it was bad then too. Everyone looks at the past with rose-tinted glasses.
Yeah, that's true.
This is the last one here. Bob Pierce from 2 months ago. The beautiful woman in the blue dress in this video, also state of the art for the 80s, makes it easy for me to picture her as Marilyn Monroe might have looked as a young woman in that age. In 1985 instead of 1958. Marilyn Monroe is frozen in time forever, 1926 to 1962, but what if we could see her in a more recent decade? Still long ago now, but nearly not as long? I love it. And this music makes it very, very easy. And listen,
People are so obsessed with celebrities.
Listen,
it's fucking insane.
Here's what I'm saying. Defund the police, but first arrest Bob Pierce, because this man is insane. Oh, there's that sax. That's motherfucking Glenn Fry.
That's creamy.
And that's our goddamn show. Sam and Carter.
Bow down, Kenny G.
Yeah, fuck you, Kenny G. Listen to
You
that
can
shit.
find me fucking kicking Kenny G in the diaphragm and
Me
calling
and-
him a little bitch.
Yeah, me and David Sanborn teaming up, double teaming Kenny G.
One time, my grandma came to visit, and she was like talking about how she got a 5-disc changer in the trunk
Hell yeah.
because that used to be a fucking thing.
Oh, yeah, I remember
yeah.
that.
Having your CDs in your trunk was the most pain in the ass way to change out your
Oh,
CDs.
God, yeah.
That's why I had 5 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we get in the car and she just looks back at us and she goes, "Oh, I just got this Kenny G album. It's so good." And then like me and my mom and me and my brother just sitting there, and my mom was just like, "Oh my fucking God." And then we jammed some Kenny G on the way to China Walk. The local Chinese spot.
That's where I always used to hear Kenny G the most, was actually at the Chinese buffet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. They used to rock that shit at China Garden when it was still around. Yeah. Well, yeah, Sam, where can people find you on the internet?
Slam harder. Twitter.com.
Hell yeah. Carter?
You can find me Carter_Glasscock on Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, that's where I'm at.
Hell yeah. And find us on Patreon, patreon.com/thegoodspod. Dr. Pat and I recorded damn near 2.5 hours talking about one of the worst wrestling pay-per-views I've ever seen, called UWF Blackjack Brawl. That episode was really fun. And if you are already on Patreon, or if you jump on there, there are a few of you that have not given me your address. And if you want, I just ordered a bunch of stickers. So
we got
please,
stickers now?
Yeah, I just ordered them. They're coming in next week. So hit me up your address. I'm going to send you a couple stickers. So yeah, if you haven't given me your address and you want some stickers, make sure you put those on your Patreon subscription. So thank you so much. Find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rivers Langley. Find the show at The Goods Pod.